This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business, register, and attend one of our incredible networking meetings. We meet the 1st through the 4th Tuesday at the Whole Foods in Newtown Square. We meet the 1st through the 4th Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by AJ Blackburn of Byte Size Cruises. AJ, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Rich. Thank you so much for having me on.
AJ, what is Byte Size Cruises?
So, Byte Size Cruises is a travel agency. We are a full service travel agency, but we specialize in cruising, particularly doing group cruises. And then we also run a YouTube channel, several YouTube channels, all about cruising and traveling. So, we have our main channel. I have my channel, which is more focused on people who are neurodivergent and families who are cruising. And then we have a generalized travel channel as well that we all use to kind of help our clients and potential clients and just random people on the internet know what to do when they're traveling and where to look and hopefully get the answers they need for a great vacation.
How did all that get started?
So all of this started, so John, who started the company, I've been working with him for a very long time. And at the end of the beginning of the end of the pandemic, he decided that because we had had a great year despite all of the ups and downs with our other company that we run, he decided that he was going to treat the employees to a cruise. So it was him, my other coworker, and our partners. So he had started rewatching a lot of videos. He did a lot of cruising when he was younger, but it had been about 5 years since his last cruise. And he wanted to make it a really great time. So he was watching all of these YouTube channels. He found a YouTuber who was also a travel agent. He reached out to them and we did book through them, but it was a very strange experience. They weren't very responsive. And he was kind of like, you know what, I can do better. And at the time, the other business, which does do digital marketing, we had wanted to get into video, and using yourself as a practice dummy is always the best way to go, being your own guinea pig. So he was like, you know, I'm going to start up my own cruise YouTube channel. So he launched right into that, got certified as a travel agent, and started doing the YouTube channels, the first YouTube channel. At the time, he was posting about one a day, and he had partnered with somebody else at a franchise and was doing pretty well. But he was really being held back by the decisions the franchise was making. So then he opened his own franchise, brought me over from the other team to help him out with bookings and everything, and to doing my own YouTube channel. And that's kind of where we are. So he, up until about a month ago, had been doing a video a day for 3 years straight, 7 days a week. There was a video going up on his channel, and he grew it. And that channel is now at over 10,000 subscribers and has been a great case study in consistency. And yeah, he just was unsatisfied with the service he got and was like, I can do better for people.
Wow, that's quite a turn of events to go from just going on a cruise, going through the process of booking a cruise, and really the part about it, it sounds like for Joe, he got bit by the cruise bug
Oh,
because
yeah.
even though you may not have a great experience somewhere as a customer, not a lot of people are going out there and starting their own YouTube channel and opening up their own travel agency office, especially dedicated to cruises. What can people expect when they work with Bite Size Cruises?
So, one, you can expect very much a white glove service. We are there every step with you, from helping you pick out the perfect trip, um, telling you all the options. We even go through and help you figure out which cruise line you want to go on if you've never been on one. Some people are very loyal to one cruise line or another, but there are people who have no idea. Do they want to go on Carnival? Do they want to go on Royal? What's the difference? So from that start of just asking questions and figuring out what type of cruise you want, all the way to before the day before you get on the trip, emailing to make sure that you have everything you need ready to go. And there is a number of our clients, if they express an interest in wanting this level that we actually follow up with once they're on the boat to make sure that everything is good. And it's just constant communication, open lines. We are very warm, welcome to, you're not bothering us with questions. And that's really one of the things that is unique about us, is that it's very much like we want to be friends with our clients. We want them to feel like they can contact us whenever they need to, and we'll get answers for them.
You mentioned ask questions. You're
Yeah.
there to answer questions for people. I think that my experience with cruising has been there's so much ramping up to actually getting on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
It's the itineraries, it's meals, it's scheduling, it's activities, it's making sure you have all your paperwork. It's so much. And I think somebody like you, AJ, and Byte Size Cruises, who's navigated these waters and has experience here, you really help people, and you take away that anxiety as much as you can, because you still got to take, in some cases, an airline to get to the cruise at the port. And I've seen some of those videos where people are waving to the ship as it goes away.
Yeah.
And there's so much to know to make sure you help your customers, that they're the ones waving on the deck to those people on the shore goodbye.
Yeah, and a lot of that is covered in our YouTube videos as far as like your timing and everything else. And we do advise you on when to book your flights to make sure that doesn't happen to get there. But also, we are sending out, usually via emails, leading up to the cruise. Once you're in that like 6 months out area, we'll be sending you emails all about like, hey, these are popular excursions that you might want to keep an eye out for. If it's over Black Friday, we will definitely reach out and be like, this is a great time to book your drink package. Some cruise lines, we can do that for you. Some we can't. Some it's on the customer to do that. So all of that information, we try to share that as much as possible. And we do keep playlists on the YouTube channel so that we can quickly send someone information about the ship that they're going on. If we've been on it, there's a ship tour available, there's a review of it. And then also, like I said, those excursions, guides to things like when to get back on the boat. So like we tell all of our clients that if all aboard is at 3, you should be in line no later than like 1:30 or 2, because everyone's coming back at 2:55. And you want to make sure that you're already on the boat and ready to watch people run down the pier and hope that they can catch the boat. That's the fun part.
As a travel agent, as a travel company, I think the most important thing that you provide is peace of mind. It's knowing that every little step has been addressed, giving me the understanding of I know what to expect as much as possible before I get on that ship. But you also help people with travel beyond cruising, don't you?
Yes. So we do it all. We have agents on our team who specialize in Disney and Universal. We do all inclusives. We can help with rail, airplanes, hotels, um, all of it. So anything that you think of with travel, rental cars, we can take care of you from start to finish with any of the aspects. And yeah, we kind of each specialize in our own little thing. So there are at this point about 6 agents that work for the company. And each one of us has our own little bubble that we can do it all. If you reach out to me and you want to work with me, like absolutely I'll help you with Disney. But I have someone on the team who really knows the like rope drop times and how to plan it out to make the most out of your passes and things like that. So the knowledge is on the team, and whoever you vibe with best is who will take care of you.
Cruise travel,
Mhm.
I see these commercials on TV. People sliding down water slides and zip lining from one end of the ship to the other. And it seems like in cruising, so much is being ramped up, so much is being offered: family vacations, romantic getaways. What are some of the trends that you're seeing, that you're sharing with your clients and customers, that are really to the forefront now in cruising?
So it's really interesting. So as we are all very aware, prices everywhere are going up. And now what has gone from things like Disney or Universal being a once every few years trip is now being priced out to, like, for a lot of families, a once in a lifetime trip. And cruises are kind of seeing that trend as well. So you do have a lot of the cruise lines who are coming out with these big experiential ships. So you have Icon of the Seas from Royal Caribbean, you have World America from MSC, and then, I mean, Royal Caribbean kind of is the industry standard for that, where you have a full water park on board, you have a carousel, you have Broadway shows, you have an aquadome show where they're like flipping and diving and all of that. You have ice skating shows all on the ship. And so the cruise lines are moving towards this. Hey, we understand that these attractions that you really want to go to are out of your price range to do probably more than once, maybe twice in your kids' under 18 lives. So come to us and you can get that same type of experience. You can see different places around the world, but you don't have to leave the boat. And so it has that kind of like all-inclusive feel to it, and that's kind of what they're going after, because you also see it with them investing in the private islands. So all the major cruise lines do have their own islands in the Bahamas, and some other places where there is the tallest water slide in North America is on Royal Caribbean's private island. You have MSC, who their private island is all about conservation and like kind of a relaxing experience. And so you have them putting together these packages where they're trying to break out of the idea that the cruise ship is just simply a floating hotel where you get to go from place to place and spend too little time there. And they're really expanding that to being that the cruise ship itself is an experience and there are places that it can take you that you can't get to otherwise.
You talk about these destinations,
Mhm.
and what gets me thinking is, well, we're talking about a lot of the Caribbean, the warm water locations, destinations, things like that. What about travel to Europe? What about Asia? What about if I want to plan that maybe once in a lifetime trip and I'd like to do it from a cruise line, and the destination is really exciting for me. I want a nice experience, but it does become that floating hotel in a way, but I want a great experience.
So there are still experiences that are very in those other places that are very specific to the cruise lines. So my like once there I have two like big bucket list cruises that I want to take. One is there is a 16-day, 16 port cruise around Japan. I love that idea. Like you see almost the entire island of Japan or islands of Japan by the time you're done. And then the other one is Antarctica. I would love to do that. The Drake Passage. Uh, that passage that I'm thinking of really scares me because there's a lot of like waves and unknown behavior, but like really cruising is the most cost effective way to get to Antarctica for a civilian who has no science background. But yeah, the cruising offers really a unique opportunity to see more than one place. Now, for me, if I was doing one of these like bucket list trips, I would opt for a cruise line that focuses on longer port times. So, like Princess Cruises, my personal favorite, they do extended time in ports when you're doing these extensive multi-trip ones where they really focus on helping you discover the uniqueness about that port and make sure that you have time there to really enjoy it. So it's not like you're there for 5 hours, you're there for 8 to 10, which is enough time to do most things in a day. Um, but I personally like Alaska. It's so amazing to do a cruise in Alaska. That's one where you actually want a smaller boat because they can get in the fjords and take you right up to the glaciers almost. Um, Same thing with the fjords in Europe. And then I love doing Canada, New England. Halifax is my favorite port, and I love doing that via because there's not like a ton to do in those northern ports. A lot of it's history, a lot of it is centered around those ports, but they're beautiful locations and there is a lot of history there. Halifax is Titanic Central if you love Titanic because it's where the rescue and recovery operations went out of. Um, and then you also get like river cruises in Europe. So my what I'm hoping to do in the next few years is take a river cruise to do the Christmas markets up the Rhine River. And you get to do all these different Christmas markets in Germany. It's amazing. And that is a very small boat. There's like I want to say like 160 passengers that fit on those boats. There's like nothing other than your rooms and a restaurant on it. And it is a different experience, but it's a great way when you're going to multiple places to not have to pack up your suitcase every night and go from one trip to the other. So I do know that for a number of our clients, it is their preferred way to travel through Europe to kind of figure out where they want to go back to and spend more time. So we've had 3 or 4 clients who they've done like a Mediterranean cruise and then come back and been like, all right, now I want to book on this resort in Crete, or I really want to go to Barcelona now. So yeah.
I'm so glad you touched on the timing option, because I think that's important when you think about, all right, I have only this set amount of time to leave the ship and to experience as much as I can, as much as I want to, and to get back in line so the ship doesn't leave me. And I think as a traveler, no matter where you go, whether it's on a cruise line or you go to a city that you've never been to before, you want, for many people, you want to do it all.
Mhm.
You know, you're literally watching your watch and you're watching your clock every second. So you can have as many experiences. And I think what you really again provide is it's sitting down and saying, all right, AJ, what really are the most important things I should be focused on here? What are the wastes of time? You know, what are the time things I should be thinking about spending more time out? And I think that's the value again where you're bringing with Bite Size Cruises to your customers to have that enhanced, that the best moment they can have.
Absolutely. Great example of that. A very popular excursion is swimming with the pigs in the Bahamas. Everybody wants to do that. They think it's adorable, and it is. But John's done it. A number of members of our team have done it. A number of our clients have done it, and they all came back with the same thing: with that there was a lot more pig mess, and it smelled very bad. And so for a lot of people, it's like watch the video, but like skip that one and instead maybe go snorkeling and see the reefs, or rent the jet ski you've been wanting to rent, like stuff like that, instead of going to do this kind of kitschy type thing. Like the pigs aren't native there. It's not like and yeah. So we do
No,
know we do have a lot
I
of
think
knowledge
you
of that.
touched on something really important. Like it's swim with the rays, swim with the dolphins. You got to come up with something to hook somebody else in. Why not pigs? Let's swim with the pigs.
Yeah, but pigs aren't meant to
To be
be swum.
swam with.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, I'm excited. I can't wait to get on a cruise and travel. But I also understand there may be some theme cruises available that I might enjoy because of my connection to different kind of activities.
Mhm. Yeah, so there are a number of basically almost everything under the sun, you can find a theme cruise. I will say this is the one unfortunate part where you have to go through the company doing the theme cruise. So, like we, for instance, can't hook you up with the Star Trek cruise. We can point you in the right direction. We can help you with all the travel around it, but the actual booking does have to be done through that company. But we have, helped people find the theme cruise that they're looking for or send out notices if we know someone is really interested in something. Like I always tell my mom when the Hallmark cruise is coming up, because Hallmark does a cruise in the fall where they announce their Christmas movie and premiere it on board. So they are a lot of fun. They can be a great way. Now, something we do though is if you have a group people like that you want to go cruise with and you want to do your own mini theme cruise or larger cruise, we can help you set that up. And that's where, we can come in and make your dream, the theme that maybe you don't have access to, a reality. Like if you wanted to do a Delco real estate cruise.
Well, I'm just intrigued by this Hallmark cruise because I'm wondering if they're bringing in the Hallmark fake snow all over the ship to give you that really Hallmark experience.
Uh, they probably do have a foam party. They call them snow parties, but they're just like basically foam. But that is probably one of the things that happens on there. That's very common on cruises is to do the snow parties and douse you in soap.
Your YouTube channel,
Mhm.
the videos that you do, I've learned so much. You have given us this information to have a better experience, like the needlework cruising, the crochet cruising, and what you can and cannot get through customs, or not customs, but security, and what ships will allow you to bring on, and these little tidbits and tips. So those videos that you do are so informative to just give the traveler that the best experience of, as we talk about, possible.
Thank you. I try.
All right, AJ, you're out and about in Delco and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for cheesesteaks?
All right. So I am allergic to beef. So that does narrow it down because chicken cheesesteaks, they make them a couple different ways. And I only like when they use the chip chicken. I don't like when they chunk the chicken. I don't think that the cheese to chicken ratio is correct. So for me, there are a couple of places. I do really like Emilio's, which is over in Folsom. Alltown, which is in Glen Olden. But my actual favorite one is Halal King in Upper Darby.
Okay, chip, not chunk. Good cheese to chicken ratio. It's got to be that for you. Where are you going to satisfy your pizza craving?
So since we moved out of their delivery range, it used to always be Genoa's. I really like Genoa's pizza. But we moved out of their delivery range. So now I go to Zesty's Pizza, which is a little place over in Lansdowne, and I really enjoy them.
What are your toppings? What are your favorites?
Broccoli and bacon is my go-to.
I like that.
It's really good because a lot of people do spinach and bacon. The spinach and bacon together is too salty.
You're out and about in Delco and you have a convenience store need. Where are you going, Wawa or Royal Farms?
Wawa. Hands down. I don't think I've ever been in a Royal Farms.
AJ, how do you describe Delco to somebody that's never been here before or has not heard of Delco before?
That if you think of all of the things you've heard of Philadelphia and imagine it as a person, and then you imagine that person's younger brother who just wants to be like his big brother, but sometimes is a little weird and misses the mark, that's Delco.
I've never heard that described that way. Fascinating. Yeah, friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them or take them to that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
Nifty 50s. Always end up there. Definitely a swing by Arita's if they've never had water ice. And usually Wawa. And I always make sure they get a cheesesteak, but I ask them what they prefer because, different places do it differently. So
we're going to be eating on the tour for AJ through Delco, which you're making me hungry. So thank you for that. AJ, is there anything we haven't spoken about on the podcast today? Anything you want listeners to know more about you or Byte Size Cruises?
At the end of the day, we really we like helping people. We know that people don't know what they don't know. And we have that knowledge to kind of help fill in the gap. And honestly, I know a lot of people get really stressed out about vacations, and we like to take some of that stress off of you and work really hard to do that. So even if you don't use us for your next vacation, you should reach out to a travel agent and really see the difference in having someone on your team who knows the ins and outs and can help you actually get to relax on your vacation.
All right, Delco, it's time. Travel season is all the time, but if you're thinking about going someplace you've never been or re-going back to somebody or going back somewhere you have been before, give Byte Size Cruises a call. Give AJ a call. What you're going to find is now you got a teammate. Now you got a friend. Now you have somebody that is almost with you every step of the way, going on your trip with you to make sure you have the best experience possible. AJ, thanks so much for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. Remember, go to the YouTube channel, go to the website. What are the socials that people can find you on?
So our website is bytesizecruises.com. Byte is with a Y, B-Y-T-E. And then on YouTube, we have AJ with Byte Size Cruises, Byte Size Cruises, and Byte Size Travel. Once again, Byte there is all with a Y. And you can also find us on Instagram at Byte Size Cruises.
Remember to like, share, and comment when you do stop by. Like, share, and comment on what's happening in Delco. AJ, we can't wait to see you on that Japanese island excursion. Can't wait to see the pictures, all the things that you achieve on your bucket list. Thanks for helping Delco achieve our bucket list dreams and travel too.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.